Well, I think one of the great challenges here, and it's a really positive challenge to have, is over the last 12 months or so, we've seen, I think, a change of direction for Gibraltar, where we're seeing much more use of Gibraltar, a higher tempo of operational vessels, ships, submarines, aircraft, deployments of training from army units and the like. And that is matching, in some cases overmatching, the capabilities that I've got here. So in some ways, the greater use that we're getting from Gibraltar is my biggest challenge. And that's a nice place to be, because it means that actually people are starting to realise, again, the benefits of having somewhere like Gibraltar as a sovereign base from which to operate ships, submarines, aircraft, and the like. And that's, I think, something that we're really going to have to consider as we move forward in the next 2 to 3 years, about how we match the capabilities that are available here with the intention of the way we're going to use Gibraltar in the future.
So will this mean growth, perhaps new employment opportunities?
Well, I certainly envisage growth in terms of capability. Whether that matches in terms of jobs, it will be something to see. We'll need to work out what the capabilities are that we're looking to improve. And certainly the integrated review, which is the government review on security and defence that was published a few months ago, suggests that Gibraltar will be a key part of this network of overseas bases that will be part of the global Britain agenda, that will allow us to be a very forward-looking, outward-looking nation, able to operate in areas with allies or independently in order to do good. And I think, therefore, we will need to look at our workforce. We'll need to work out what new skills we need, how we get those new skills. So I think it's a really exciting time, and it gives us many opportunities, I think, for increasing the capability of our workforce.
Well, a very positive message. Your predecessors would have perhaps mentioned incursions as one of their biggest challenges.
Well, incursions still occur. We respond to them in the way that my predecessors would have done. We meet any incursion from any vessel that is breaking the international law with regards to British Gibraltar and territorial waters in the same way. We send the Royal Naval Gibraltar Squadron with Royal Gibraltar Regiment soldiers on board now out to the limit of British Gibraltar territorial waters, and we escort them out with warnings. We protest those incursions in the same way as my predecessors would have done. I think the difference with my predecessors, though, when we talk about a positive message, is that different to my predecessors, I am able to say that on the back of the IR, we are given a positive message. We are able to look not just at the incursions, which is our day-to-day operational requirement, but also looking towards the future about how we improve the capabilities here.
You mentioned Royal Gibraltar Regiment soldiers on board. Is this something new?
Well, we've been working hard with the Royal Gibraltar Regiment to make sure that their employment has a degree of variety in it as well. It's important for the soldiers in the Royal Gibraltar Regiment to feel like they've got a good lived experience. So alongside a whole pile of initiatives that we brought in for the Royal Gibraltar Regiment, one of them is putting a small number of Royal Gibraltar Regiment soldiers onto the Royal Naval ships when they go out to do sovereignty patrols, and in particular when they're doing force protection of vessels that are coming into Gibraltar and territorial waters and into Gibraltar. So it gives another string to the bow for the Royal Gibraltar Regiment. But that's alongside a whole pile of other stuff that the Royal Gibraltar Regiment does exceptionally well. You know, when I look at the regular EOD teams, just recently we've seen how good they are ceremonially with their exquisite gun drill and gun salutes for on the passing of the Duke of Edinburgh, and indeed just recently at the Queen's birthday parade last week, where I think we'll agree it was probably one of the most spectacular parades that we've seen for a while, given the number of soldiers we were able to get out on this occasion. And those kind of things, I hope, means that actually we'll get more recruits coming in, more retention, better retention of those Royal Gibraltar soldiers, because we're now giving them a variety, we're giving them something else to be able to do.
Well, talking of assets, you've had 2 new ships for the squadron, and just come out in the news very recently, 2 new launches expected for the GDP. Okay,
so if we break it down, so the Royal Naval Gibraltar Squadron, which is at the moment got 2 P2000 patrol boats, HMS Dasher and HMS Pursuer. They were the interim solution when we sent HMS Scimitar and HMS Saberback, who'd done a very, very good job, but actually were getting quite old and not quite up to the task. Pursuer and Dasher have come out as an interim solution, and in the later part of this year and the early part of next year, we'll get the two new purpose-built patrol boats coming out to Gibraltar, HMS Cutlass and HMS Dagger.
That's for the squadron?
That's for the Royal Naval Gibraltar Squadron. And they will replace Pursuer and Dasher, who will then go back to UK. In the Gibraltar Defence Police Maritime Force, which again has been subject, I think, to a degree of underinvestment over the last number of years, we've now just seen in the last week or so the announcement of a new contract to buy new police launchers for both the Ministry of Defence Police and the Gibraltar Defence Police, and we'll see two new police launchers coming to the Gibraltar Defence Police Force in the near future. In the meantime, just last week, we took delivery of another another police launch for the Gibraltar Defence Police called Excalibur, who's now out at sea doing the job, and actually is a great addition to the team.
So looking forward to tomorrow, Armed Forces Day here at the Tower.
Well, I think for all of us, it's been a pretty difficult 12, 18 months with the pandemic and lockdown and all that's gone with that. And actually what we looked at was, given the really close links that we've seen between the Ministry of Defence, the FCDO in the convent and the Government of Gibraltar in number 6 in terms of how we deal with the pandemic. And we've had Royal Gibraltar Regiment soldiers assisting in building the Nightingale Hospital and moving vaccines and RAF airplanes. We thought that this would be a good opportunity as we come out of the pandemic to maybe just open up the base and let our Gibraltarian community and colleagues come in and just see what we get up to here. So tomorrow we're opening up the naval base for a whole day of fun, I hope. There's a number of stalls, a number of demonstrations, HMS Trent is alongside, she'll be open to visitors. The P2000s will be, one of the P2000s will be alongside. There'll be music, there'll be refreshments around, and it should be a great fun day. The idea is that everybody comes down and we show what a great community we are together, armed forces here in Gibraltar and the Gibraltar community, because unless the two of them are working hand in glove, then we're doomed to failure, and I'd rather plan for success.